Hi there. How do you like my top knot? All in the world it is just hair twisted around itself. Let me grab the end and held in place with a comb like so. It stays pretty well. It's not my favorite look, but it works. So there you go. Today is Friday, January 18th, 2019. It is about 3.5 minutes until 4 in the afternoon. It's a beautiful 73 degrees out there. My friend Elizabeth came by a while ago. We stood outside and chatted, and it was perfectly comfortable. I'll try not to wiggle my feet so much because I'm recording with the laptop today, and every time I move, so does the camera. Anyway, the sky is mostly clear. There's a little light cloudiness that gives the quality of light a little subdued effect, but it's a beautiful day. We're gonna have some chill weather and rain come in tonight or tomorrow, but it's beautifully perfect and perfectly beautiful right this minute. Someone on Facebook asked, what do you do to avoid getting the flu or a cold? And I thought, as someone who used to get pretty sick like that, my whole upper respiratory stuffed full at least twice a year, spring and summer. I'm delighted to realize that I haven't been sick like that in probably over 5 years. And I also haven't had a flu shot in all that time. May or may not be related. But here are 8 things that I do to stay healthy. The first thing is I avoid crowds or people who might be sick, or groups that might have people that might be sick. This may be difficult or impossible if you happen to be a family with small children, or any children at all. They go to school and they're around people, and sickness happens when kids are about, but all my kids are grown and out of my house with kids of their own, so I'm going to let them worry about that. But I avoid crowds and groups of people that might have a sick person. Another thing I do is practice frequent hand washing. That is something that is very effective. Warm water and soap. Another thing that I do is I replace the filter on my central air unit every month. Well, pretty regularly anyway. I pulled it out the other day and it was pretty grimy. Sometimes I remember to put a date on them so I'll know when I go look at it, oh yikes, here's how long it's been. But I did realize the other day, my goodness, it's time to change that filter. Ideally, in a perfect world, I change them every month. Another thing is that when it's cold outside, I bundle up if I'm going out. I don't think that it's the cold itself that causes people to be sick. I think what happens is that the cold irritates the passageways. And once they're irritated, then it takes a while for them to settle down, and then boom, there you have a cold. I stay in or I bundle up if I'm going out in the cold. The 5th thing that I do is the instant, well, maybe not the instant, but as soon as I recognize that I'm experiencing that dry, crusty breathing or a scratchy throat or tickling in my ears, as soon as I recognize I'm feeling anything like that, then I take vitamin C and zinc. And there's a product that I found. This is a product called AIRBORNE. And it's got 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C and really just a little bit of zinc, but it's got some other vitamins and minerals, and it's really a support for the immune system. And so as soon as I start thinking, uh-oh, this isn't happening, is it? I go have me some AIRBORNE, and no, it doesn't happen. It is astonishingly effective. Vitamin C and zinc. And if you can find that in one product, then good job. This one's effervescent, so it fizzes when you drop it in the water. You can take it hot or cold, but it does fizz. I think I prefer mine cold. Number 6 is stay hydrated. I drink lots of water. I nearly always have a cold bev right nearby. This one is a fizzy water. I like that fizzy water. It's just plain, unflavored, unsweetened, carbonated water. If I'm going to drink flavored water, then I like to have it unsweetened. Occasionally a Diet Coke, but not very often. Mostly just water, plain water and fizzy water. Coffee in the mornings until I'll usually have 3 or 4 coffees, and not after 2 in the afternoon, because it does keep me awake. Anyway, stay hydrated, lots of water. If I'm going to use any kind of an antimicrobial, I like this Young Living Thieves product. This is a little spray product, and they also make a little package of towelettes that I like real well. Love that smell, that kind of cinnamony, clovey smell. I think it's pretty effective, and it doesn't have strong chemicals that I worry about. So there's my antimicrobial. Number 8, and this might seem odd, but another way that I support my immune system is by eating simple whole foods as close to nature as I can get them, and avoid highly processed foods or packaged foods with lots of ingredients in them as much as possible. I mean, I'm not such a purist that I will jump up on a soapbox and preach and not eat something if I don't know what's in it, but I try to keep it as close to nature as possible and as few ingredients as possible. If you've got a box of something that has a list this long of words that you can't pronounce, maybe you ought to leave it on the shelf. That's what I think. But, of course, your life is yours to live. This is how I live mine. And that's one of the ways that I support my immune system. Just going to avoid crowds and stay warm and wash my hands and use good ingredients. And that's how I stay well. What do you do? How do you avoid the flu or the cold? And what do you think about these items? Let me know in the comments. Click like if you liked it, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.